tell you something that you wanted me to tell you that I've never told anybody. Even up to this day, I've never told anybody. Nobody from Church of God, and I mean literally nobody. The first time I ever came was when I was 12 years old, when I had a wet dream. I woke up in the morning, and back then I wore tighty whities. And I woke up and I remember I put my hands in my underwear to adjust my pecker, and then all of a sudden I felt all kinds of wet, sticky stuff in my underwear. I pulled my underwear and I was confused at what the hell it was. How the hell it happened. I didn't know what it was. I thought something was wrong with me. But I was embarrassed because it was down by my pecker. So I took my underwear off and I threw them in the trash. I took a shower and never told anybody about it.
You didn't tell your mom?
Nope. Literally nobody. You're the first one that I've ever told about that. Yeah, I remember waking up and being confused at that and what was happening.
What's your wet dream about?
I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember waking up and that happening. And I remember that I took my underwear off and threw them in the trash and getting in the shower and never telling anybody. I was embarrassed. But that's something that I've literally never told anybody else about. Quite literally. So now you definitely know something about me that nobody knows.
Yeah, that you came your pants when you were 12.
There's a little more to it than that, you know.
What is there more to it?
Well, because of the embarrassment that I had and never telling anybody about it.
Well, who would you tell?
Well, you asked if I not even my mom. Well, no, I was embarrassed.
Well, you said because you didn't know what was wrong. You said you thought something was wrong with you. So I said, well, why didn't you go tell your mom that there's something wrong with you?
No. And no, I was embarrassed because it was in that area. And I was confused about it. And didn't know until years down the road.
I mean, you didn't know till years down the road.
Until I learned about wet dreams, and I realized that's what that was. But growing up in my house was, in ways, it was difficult because Mom and Dad didn't really talk about sex. They didn't teach me anything about sex. I mean, they never sat down and had any talk with me or anything like that. It was my sister and her husband that actually sat me down when I was 17 and taught me about the sex.
What did they teach you?
Just taught me about the female anatomy and the male anatomy, and explained about the eggs and the sperm and they didn't even teach that in school back at that time.
And what did she teach you?
Mom never taught me anything about sex.
So your sister.
my sister and it was more my sister's husband that taught me, because he got a book out and taught me and explained different things to me, and he had my sister when he needed help explaining something. She was there about the female anatomy to help him explain it.
You didn't know anything by the age of 17?
I knew some stuff, but I didn't know that much in detail, like they explained it to me.
And you said that was rough on your childhood?
Yeah, there was a lot of things that was. I led a very sheltered life when I was a kid. Mom and Dale was old-fashioned, and both of them were very old-fashioned.
Well, did you want them to like just be banging each other on the sofa? Like, what did you want?
No. Usually a parent would sit down and have a sex talk with them, with their kid. They never had that with me. It was almost like they were embarrassed to talk about sex.
And you wanted your mom and dad to tell you about sex?
Well, I wanted somebody to explain it to me more than what I knew about it. It would have been nice, even if it was my older brother. It would have been nice if he would have explained it to me. Mom and Dale slept in different rooms, separate ends of the hall, because they both snored loud. And Mom slept on one end of the house, and I had the bedroom right in the middle, and Dale slept on the other end. And this was after all the other kids were gone. I think it was just me and Richard that was there. But my bedroom was literally right in the middle, and so it's like I would always go to bed at 8 o'clock, because if I didn't, I wouldn't get to sleep. So I was always the first one to wake up at 5 o'clock. And that was for probably the last 3 years of me going to school, with me right up till I was 18 and moved out.
What's the point of the story?
The point of the story was because they didn't have sex. They had sex before, but there were years that they went without having sex.
How do you know?
Well, I don't know for sure, but they never. I was never aware of them having sex.
And you wanted to know if they were?
No, I did not want to know if they were. I wanted them to teach me about sex like they should have done, instead of me waiting till I was 17 and my brother-in-law wound up teaching me. Didn't your parents have the sex talk with you?
No.
What did you do, learn in school?
I learned it by having sex.
Oh. Well, I didn't.
I mean, what are they supposed to get? Like, you want like a diagram? I don't understand.
Well, that's literally what my brother did. He pulled out a diagram and showed me.
Oh,
By doing that, I explained. I understood it a lot more.
well, what didn't you understand about it?
Well, I knew what sex was. I knew, I knew the sticking pecker in the vagina was having sex, but I didn't know the small things about it.
Well, like what? Like, what didn't you know? You wanted to know where babies came from?
I wanted to know more in detail about it, like exactly how everything worked, and how the woman had to be fertile in order to have a baby, and how the seed went up into the woman and met with the egg and formed a baby.
Okay, so you did not know how they were made.
I knew how babies were made. It's just I wasn't quite sure of.
Well, because
what you
it wasn't really that much detail. I feel like anyone would have known that.
There were just things that I didn't understand quite clear, and that they helped me understand more clear. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. First time I had sex was with Denise when I was 19. She was 29.
Oh.
Yep. She was actually a grade ahead of my oldest brother in school. They knew each other from school. So it felt a little odd to me. But, well, it was different because where my brother seemed so much older to me all my life, that I was actually dating somebody that was a year older than he was at the time. So it seemed really odd to me. It felt odd.
Why did it feel odd?
Just because she was so much older because I was only 19. And I think that's why it felt so much odd, so much more odd, because she was 29. So it's like she was 10 years older than I was. And at the time, that was a big deal at the time. It felt odd to her too, because she had a son that was 11.
And that felt odd. Why?
Because of the age difference. Because where I was only 19, and she actually had 3 sons, but her oldest one was 11, and so it felt, that's why it felt so odd to her, because of my age, and it felt odd to me because of her age, because her being so much older than me, and me being so young.
Oh.
Yep. So there. Now you know more about me.
Yeah, I know you've had sex with. Pretty cool.
And you know something about me that nobody else knows.
Oh, yeah, you came your pants when you were 12.
Yeah.
Very
Nobody
special.
else knows. Don't you think that's special? I've never told anybody that.
Not really. I mean, don't all boys have wet dreams at some point? I don't know.
No. I thought that would be rather special that I told you that, because I've never told anybody. It's something I've always kept to myself. Not very special.
I mean, I didn't think it was like anything special. Because I mean, who do you tell that to anyway?
I don't know. I guess I gotta think of something that would be more special, and I don't know what that could be.
Well, what's special about it?
Because it was something I've kept to myself all these years.
Yeah, but it was just a wet dream you had once.
Well, yeah, but it was the first one that I ever had.
Oh.
So I thought that would be special telling you that. That's
Um,
disappointing that you didn't think it was.
well, no, I mean, I don't understand why that's even like a,
Because it was something that I've never shared with anyone.
yeah, but who talks about that? Nobody talks about that.
No, nobody talks about it, but it was something that must have meant something to me because I've kept it to myself all these years. Never told anybody about it.
What would you tell them?
I mean, it was something about me that was I've never told anybody else. So I thought that you might think that was special.
Okay.